Hi, my name is Pamela, and this is a training video about narration techniques and the voice. If you're watching this, you're probably volunteering to record an audiobook for NNELS, the National Network of Equitable Library Service. Thanks for your work, and I hope this video is helpful. The first couple of things I'm going to point out are just some tips for the voice. On the day that you're recording, avoid dairy. Dairy tends to produce a lot of mucus in the sinuses and in the throat, and that is going to get in the way of your quality narration and your consistency. So just steer clear of it and stay hydrated. Not just a glass of water before you get going. Drink a lot of water and a lot of herbal tea in the day that you're going to record so that you're really well hydrated as you're going into it. The next thing is to relax. Narrating is an enduring process, so you need to stay relaxed. We can also hear tension in the voice if you're not feeling relaxed. So let's get started with some warm-ups. The first thing that we're going to do is just a couple of techniques on staying grounded. Have your feet flat on the ground and do a nice shoulder roll up and back. Your hands on your knees if you can, and just feel your feet sinking into the earth and being held by the ground there. Now just do some nice deep breaths into the diaphragm if you can access those diaphragmatic muscles easily. Otherwise, just try and take some deep, slow breaths. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Do as many of those as feels good for you to get to that place where you're feeling present and centered and calm. Once you're ready with that, we'll move on to doing some face warm-ups. Start off with some lip trills. So take a breath in and relax all your face muscles, relax your lip muscles, and if you're having trouble relaxing, then you can just move around, shake your body a little bit. Next, do some vowel sounds that are going to stretch out the face. So we'll do an ah, e, o, u. Do 3 or 4 of those. Ah, e, o, u. If you have a lot of tension in your jaw, in your cheeks, between your eyes, and just go ahead and give yourself a little face massage to help get some of that tension out. After that, we're going to do some consonant sounds. So do some ta 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 ta, pa 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 pa, fa 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 fa, ka 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 ka, sh 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 sh, so on and so forth until you're feeling like that's pretty easy for you. And then you can actually just go ahead and grab a text. I've got one here. Grab a text and try reading it with a lot of enunciation and really slow. Moonlight in front of my bed. I took it for frost on the ground. This is just going to help you slow it down, pull it back, and make sure you're really saying all the words that are in the book. It's easy when we get nervous to speed it up, to kind of skip over things, to slur a little bit. So it's just a good way of getting you going and centered in the right pace. Now that you're warmed up a little bit, we will go straight into talking about some narration techniques, which is primarily speed and pacing. You want that pacing to be consistent. The 2 main reasons for that is, 1, it needs to be slow and steady enough that we can understand everything that you're saying. It's super important that all that information is getting across, especially when we're thinking about accessibility. You also want to keep that pacing because you are going to need to endure reading for 1 or 2 hours. So you need to keep that pace calm. If you start getting tense or if you start speeding up and your face is getting exhausted, then it's going to get harder and harder for you to do. It's going to sound funny because we're going to hear the voice kind of going through all those movements, the body going through all those movements, which will be a little distracting from the text, and it's going to be hard for you too. The ways to keep that speed and pacing consistent and stable are in the breath. What you need to remember to do is to avoid getting out of breath. Take a breath whenever you need it, even if you're in the middle of a sentence. Make sure that you're keeping yourself oxygenated enough that you're not having to speed to get the last little bit of air out so you can finish that sentence. And then you keep doing that, and then it starts getting tiring. And next thing you know is you end up getting a little bit puffed. So you want to get that nice, stable pace. Don't let yourself run out of breath. If you end up taking some pauses where it feels a little bit incorrect to the pacing of the book, you can always edit them out. It's way more important that everything that you're recording actually comes across and is understood. The last thing is we're just going to talk about a little bit of technique. Now, some of you might be character voice actors and ready to kind of, throw in all these different character voices, and that's cool if you know how to do that. If you're new to this, then let's just focus in on the narration and that pacing and that recording technique, and not think about, creating all these different voices. However, something that really does come across is the feeling and the intention of the book, of what you're reading. So for example, if you're reading about something that is joyous, then smile. If you are reading about something that is sad, then let yourself feel that a bit, because that will come across in your voice. Same thing, if someone's angry, furrow your brow. Just commit to the text, let your body actually move with those emotions, and we will hear that tone shift in the voice, and that's a really beautiful thing that you can bring to your narration. So that's the end of the narration training. I hope that was really helpful to you. If you have any comments or questions, get in touch with us at Nels, and we will endeavour to answer that for you. Have fun with your audiobook.